You better think about what you're trying to do to me. Or trying to do. Think that the time gonna let you set me free. Let's go back, and let's go way back when. I didn't even know you, but I didn't do much more than think of one time. They don't think of what they're trying to do, but think what you're doing to me. You better think. Hey, people. Hi, Miss Ashley. JJ. She talked too much. Rainy Puts. I am Mrs. Ricks. How y'all doing? Hey, LaSparkle Covington. Need Gina. Moderator Shakant. Thank you coming in. Shoshana. Moderator. Moderator Elaine. Thank y'all for coming in. Thank you. Hey, everybody. God before everything. Well, what's going on the YouTube street, specifically the beef sector on today? We have a situation. Okay. Now, early on, y'all know the adversary. I spoke to the adversary early on, and I said, there is a reason why you don't go online sharing people's locations, their addresses, their phone numbers. They're nothing about their lives, right? This is when the person decided they want to drive around the person's neighborhood, show them the gas station on the corner. Like anybody who's from that area would not know exactly where that was. Why? Because they live there. You don't not know what kind of nut you are exposing people to, correct? Now, I haven't heard anybody taking responsibility for the fact that Stomp Down knows where Tracy lives. Now, why does Stomp Down know where Tracy lives? Let's begin there, right? Was it the irresponsibility of Jay Wilson for circling around? That didn't make any sense. Circling around where she lives, showing her neighbors and all around her building, and then taking people on personal tours around their building, not knowing they're not going to download the location or whatever they're going to do. You don't know. You're just being an asshole. And what you call I'm just being messy. I was just being messy. Okay, let somebody be messy with your ass then, Jay Wilson. So you were just being messy. Why don't you post your own address? So you're too worried about trying to outdo somebody else. What we need you to do is let's get a location on you. So it don't mean nothing. It's funny. Anyway, so the issue is the stone creature has shown up at Tracy's house. She's been circling her house for whatever reason before. Now she is actually going into the building. I think I spoke up on this yesterday. Going into her building, up 4 flights of steps, and right in front of her door. Now, this is supposed to impress somebody. I don't know. He is so scary that immediately after he posts this information, he takes it down. But there's a person on here who picks it up and reposts it. As I told you, every time you put something online, Stone Creature, all a person has to do is download the video, right? And that's what happened. So we see you stalking this woman. I don't know how you think that's to your benefit, but I think that you're only partly responsible because there's a reason why you know where she lives. Anybody can walk up to a building, look at the mailbox, and see someone's apartment number. It ain't all that, honey. And that's exactly what happened, right, Jay Wilson? So since all this time, no one can seem to convince you that you have done a wrong thing by exposing that woman's residence, where she lived. I didn't expose it. I don't know where she lives now. I don't know where she lives. No, nigga. If somebody shows me a picture of a Safeway store, and I know this person, I know where this person's building is because I know where the Safeway store is. Why? Because I live here. Obviously, the Stomp Creature lives in San Antonio. We have had walking tours around Tracy's building, and now we've had her getting to the door. So what is the next step? You tell me, Jay Wilson. Since you are so dense and you said that you don't have no responsibility with these people, didn't we all sit up here and watch that Stomp Creature tell you, Jay Wilson, okay, are you my blog father? Yeah, I guess you could say I'm your vlog. You ain't no guess my ass. That is, you claim to be her vlog father. And she also asked you, and can I say that I'm from the house of Jay Wilson? Yes, but you named it the house of Jay Wilson, right? So what are your responsibilities, Jay Wilson? Are you the house mother? We learned from the recent series Pose that a house mother has responsibilities. The person took responsibility for her subjects or followers, right? In fact, in that particular work of fiction, she actually took them in and gave them a place to live. She took responsibility for the people, right? But you want to keep claiming that you're all this shit. You want to claim that you are a pastor, even though you don't pastor anything, right? You want to claim that you are a chaplain, even though you just took some little course and then lost the job immediately, girl. And you were never actually a chaplain in this thing. You were just a temporary worker, right? You always want to claim these titles to everything. You say you are dean, girl. There's no evidence of it. But you take that title, but yet you don't want to dean anything, girl. So what do you do exactly, Jay Wilson? You have this person who is stalking a person who you consider your friend, the person you called and said, "Oh, Mayday, Mayday, yeah. Oh, it's terrible. Oh, Tracy, take me offline. Take me offline. Oh, we got to do something. He's gone too far this time. He's gone too far this time." And then you come back, "Oh, Tracy, help me. You see how Tracy helped me? Oh, Tracy and I are cool." I don't know why Tracy decided to fall for that bullshit, right? But immediately she stopped reading his ass, right? Now, for me, I think she should have continued to read him. I find it fascinating. I just loved it when she was reading his punk ass and telling the truth about him. Because as I recall, the situation was that you had made 40 videos about a 3-day trip or 3 or 4-day trip that she had with her friend. Right, Jay Wilson? So what we want to know now is, what kind of responsibility are you going to take for this person stalking your friend? We know when the other freak had her arrested, you couldn't take your fat ass down there to the police station and get her out for $50. She had to sit up there in jail. Oh, that's not my problem. That's not my problem. Nothing is your problem. Yet you the blog father. So what y'all think about this? Should that boy listen, if I have a friend, I'm not going to let some freak out here clearly stalking and filming my friend. Honey, yeah, you can't even talk to the motherfucker. If you supposed to be his blog father and she from the house of Jay Wilson, this thing, you got carried away with this stupid ass language of yours, girl. Do you see me over here talking about the house of Timothy Blaine? Oh, I'm the blog father. Oh, I'm gonna get him to 1,000. I'm gonna get him to 1,000. This thing, they're gonna get to 1,000 because of their talent, their personality. And if people want to watch them, it's got nothing to do with no Jay Wilson, how you got him to 1,000. You ain't got nobody to shit, dumbass. So he is not going to say anything to that stump creature. He is afraid of the stump creature because he don't want him to turn on him and start stalking his damn house. But it comes down to, Jay Wilson, is you should have never exposed that woman's home. When you expose someone's home, you're exposing it to thousands of people. It only takes one nut. And apparently, this is what happened with her. She's got one nut. Now, we've seen he was in the parking lot. We've seen him circling around the building. We see him. You see the advancement, how he's getting closer to her. Now he's right at her door. So if the wall, he's right that close to Tracy. So what's next, Jay Wilson? Does he approach her at the supermarket? I'm just asking you, what is next? It seems to be a progression because you have exposed her to the world and the world has produced one of its nuts. How y'all doing? How y'all doing today? Well, yeah, we're gonna talk about it because in the beef sector, this is what we talk about. This is a different kind of YouTubing, right? So yeah, we can cover the celebrities a little bit. We can talk about politics, our opinion on it, that kind of thing. But primarily, the beef sector, we talk about what's going on in the beef sector. And this boy, we've seen this dude advance closer and closer to Tracy's doorstep. Now he's right outside her door. Now, we've all seen enough horror movies to know what's next. Some kind of confrontation, right? And when you confront people, you do not know what could happen in that situation, right? I'm fearful for my life. And I blew his ass away. Mm-hmm. Oh, you notice my haircut fits this? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got to get him. I think now I got to get him every 3 weeks. It was once a month, but I don't know. Maybe when you get old, your hair grows faster. They say when you die, your fingernails keep growing, honey. You be having them hide and fly fingernails in your coffin, honey. Mm-hmm. Fingernails and something else. I think toenails or some shit. They continue to grow. Do any of y'all have an opinion about this stuff? How you doing, God, before everything? Uh-huh. Tracy always drops her address, has for years. Okay, so you want to put it back on Tracy? Okay, so since that is Tracy's house, if I want to drop my if I want to show a picture of my asshole online, that is my decision, right? It is illegal when someone else drops a picture of my asshole. You got it? Right? It's not his responsibility. If she wants to take Stomp Down knows where she lives because of the postings that Jay Wilson made. Why? Because he said, I only filmed the power lines, and I filmed the neighborhood, and I filmed the gas station. Saying, if you live there, girl, you know exactly where that spot is. And she's been stalking her ever since, girl. And so why would you tell if you call yourself somebody's friend, but you only made up with her because you wanted her to stop reading your punk ass because you're scared she's going to show up on your boat and turn it out. Even if you're friendly with the person, I would think, and you know this motherfucker who's stalking her, I would think you would be able to contact your blog child and tell her, don't do that. That is so damn wrong. Instead, he finally makes a general statement. Oh, the law is for the lawless. The law is for the, if you break the law, you go in the, like he's some kind of pronouncement or something, girl. But the whole point of a law is you go to jail, nigga. You ain't said nothing. You need to call that bitch up and say, listen, don't do that for me. You say we're friends. You say I'm your vlog father and you're from the house of Jay Wilson, right? So I'm just giving you some good advice. You need to stop doing what you're doing, right? You got to realize there's a reason why that stump creature can't leave a video up. She's making all this effort to make these videos about stalking people and so forth. But if you'll notice, moments later, she takes the video down. She puts one up, takes it down, puts one up, takes it down. So it is my belief that the YouTube people have been on that ass. He has got strike 1 and strike 2. One more strike, one more fuck up when they can explore the video, and then her ass is out. Y'all say, well, you can't be out. Come back in a different name. Well, I guess you can do that. Tommy Sotomayor had many names before they finally got his ass, right? And now they say he's sleeping on somebody's couch. Anyway, the thing with the storm creature, we don't know what her mental capacity is. She's over here threatening Deanna. She's over here threatening people. Girl, I mean, what is next? How can you prove yourself? I ain't full of shit. I ain't full of shit. So next time, what you gonna do? Walk up behind her, maybe push her a little bit or something, and be sitting there smiling with your Mexican face? Mm-hmm. Storm creature, there's a reason why you continue to hide. There's a reason why you continue to hide your videos. There's a reason for all that. You suggested, you brought it to our attention that you were a child molester. That's what you said out of your own mouth. These are your words and not ours. You said that you and that boy that from Chicago, you have evidence that you were in the town the same time he was there, only he was 8 years old and you were old enough to be a counselor of some sort. You brought up this story, right? That you were a child molester. Now we have to wonder, why is he so afraid of people knowing who he is? Is it because some mother in Chicago might recognize you? Some principal in the school might recognize you, right? Because unlike the rest of the people who they've accused of being child molester, you are unique. You accuse your own ass of being a child molester. You said you sat up there and watched 8-year-olds getting, I can't even say it, whatever. You brought that to our attention, and you've been hiding ever since, right? What do we know about you? We know you're ugly. Why? Because you sound ugly. We can't associate your voice with somebody cute, right? So we know you're ugly. We know you're a drag queen, ex-drag queen, right? We know you were not successful at even being that, girl. If you were any kind of decent looking queen, you would be excited, interested in showing your picture. You would want people to see you. That's the whole point, girl. So, and we know you're a stalker, and we know you live in San Antonio, and we know Jay Wilson knows exactly what you look like, according to him. He said he knows what you look like. So we have a stalker on YouTube showing up at people who are supposed to be your friends' house right outside their door, and yet you are keeping their identity a secret. Jay Wilson, can we assume that if you know her, what she looked like, you also know who she is or who it is, right? We don't know if it's a piece of trade you got, some kind of reason or other, girl. She knows you're all in the same town, right? You could, honey, you put people's addresses up. You talk all this shit about them, this thing. You showing all kind of aerial views of how to get into her building, all that kind of shit, this thing. You could, a serial killer could have got the same information. And we don't know what the hell that boy's problem is. We don't know. He seems to want to threaten women. He wants to scratch them in the face, stomp on their titties. Well, who thinks of shit like this, girl? I've never said ever thought about, oh, I want to scratch your face. I'm going to stomp on your titties. I'm going to knock you down. This thing. What man is going to allow that to happen, particularly to his wife? Right? Do you know you'd be dead if you did something like that there to that girl who you're threatening? You'd be dead. If she didn't kill you on the spot, then people will be looking for you, but they will be looking for you with much more aggression than you're experiencing on YouTube. Thing. Miss Thing, somebody in that city knows who you are, girl. And from what we understand, only Jay Wilson, your blog knows who you are. So why is he hiding it then? Why is he protecting you then? Doesn't he have any kind of affection for Tracy at all? Is he so afraid that Stomp Down gonna talk about me? He gonna threaten me. He gonna talk about me. He gonna talk about it. So we'll see. The only thing she come forward today, she come back to my, oh, the law is for the. Can't you come up with any more sayings, Jay Wilson? We are so sick of you saying the same goddamn thing, girl. The law is for the law. How many millions of times we have to be exposed to that, girl? You're not declaring anything nobody don't know, girl. You hear something, you repeat. Oh, I have no emotional intelligence. She doesn't have the emotional intelligence. I'm trying to figure out, girl, I would love to sit in one of those rooms. What do they call those big rooms where the people come and give, in colleges, they come and they give their talks, whatever, the professors in front. They have a specific name for that, though. Like How to Get Away with Murder. Or maybe just a regular, the way they conduct classes there. I would love to hear your participation, Jay Wilson, because as I've said many times, so far I'm right about everything about you. You sound like an idiot. You do. You ain't got no vocabulary. You keep saying the same shit over and over and over again, girl. This thing, and then you claim you the blog father, but you don't want to take responsibility for nothing. You're over there using that poor woman, the Queen Vivian. Y'all calling her the Queen Vivian, and basically she's a slave, honey, working for you for nothing, girl. All the ideas you keep claiming for yourself is actually Vivian's the one that did it, girl. Vivian's the one putting together your little weenie roast. Although I don't know how much preparation you need to have a weenie roast in San Antonio, girl. Oh, excuse me. You did do one thing. You hired the security. So you're so security conscious. Why are you giving out other people's addresses? And the thing about it, that why it keeps coming up, Jay Wilson, is because you refuse to take responsibility for anything, girl. That child's only stalking her because of you. It's the truth. I don't know why you can't deal with the truth. You can't handle the truth. It would break you to know what kind of a person you are, Jay Wilson. What y'all think? The Sparkle Company noticed my haircut. And Fitz, oh, y'all notice the haircut. I just regular haircut, child. I gotta get them every 3 weeks or so. I'm starting to get a little. I hope I don't go bald. I don't know. They got this thing back when men's head. They got the male pattern baldness. But even if it started now, I'm 65 years old, so I don't think I should care. These people ain't looking at me, and they want something young. You're young and tender, girl. All the boys are in town in San Francisco because it's Pride Month. The parade is not to the end of the month, but we're getting toward the middle of it now. And they have all these events here for the Pride. So anybody lives in, Northern or even Southern California. All the years I lived in LA, I always came to San Francisco in the early years to for the Gay Pride Parade here. It's huge here. So there's boys all over the place. Ain't none of them looking at my ass though. Baby. I can accept it. I remember you went on Truth Hurts Live about the Fly Uchi. Ooh, I was on somebody's live. Wait a minute. Hello, Timothy in chat. Attention. Timothy, remember you went on Truth Hurts Live about the Fly Uchi? The Truff is her right-hand man. And so is, the Storm Creature. I don't remember that, baby, Katrina. I went on somebody's live. I very rarely go on them. I mean, I don't mind dropping by to say hello to people, but about the Fly Uchi. Okay, the Truff, is that a person's name? The Truff is her right-hand man. And so it wouldn't matter. I just tell it like I see it, Katrina. I ain't nobody's side. I ain't nobody's vlog father. I ain't got no house of Timothy Blaine. I don't call people in the chat no specific thing like these are the rider lies and all that old shit. I don't do any of that stuff, honey. Timothy Blaine is loyal to Timothy Blaine, honey. That's it. There are people who I like on here, and I don't want to disrespect them. Why? Because I like them. That's all that is, honey. Yeah, he was on there. I saw the thing where Deanna had to confront his ass again. He'd do anything to get some attention. But why do you want attention, the Stone Creature, if you're going to take your videos down, girl? It doesn't make any sense. Why even bother to do it, girl? Why even come on here and talk shit about people? If anybody going to see it but the ones watching in that moment, 15 minutes later, you took everything down. Your channel now has, what, one video on it? It's pitiful. I'm sorry, it is pitiful, honey. And if you have that kind of a vlog father, I suggest you go without. Try to think of like a reasonable, rational person. Although I believe that you're probably a mentally ill person. You're a stalker. That's a mental dysfunction. I think. I don't know how to classify that. A stalker. If there's a name for it in psychology, I don't know. It is an obsession. He was out there walking around her building when she was out of town. Now, what the hell purpose does that serve? You see how the stalker is getting closer and closer? If you watch those stalker movies, a lot of them, child. What was that one I saw where the person got right up, they turned all the lights off in the building and they got right this close to him, right? Right? They just wanted to be right there in front of them. Was that Red Dragon or something? I think it was Red Dragon. One of those Anthony Hopkins movies. So I guess the stalker, he has to keep topping himself. He don't work this way all the way from the parking lot all the way to her front door. What's next? If you're at the door, what is next? So I'm not a person who recommends people. I don't like guns, but it's my belief, particularly in Texas where they have open carry, but it's my belief that people shouldn't have guns outside of their house. But you have every right to protect yourself in your castle, honey. Whether your castle is a studio in the garage or your castle is an actual castle, you should have some way to protect yourself, right? Particularly when you have stalkers coming to your door. So we don't know what Tracy's situation is. People who carry don't always say what the situation is, but you should feel comfortable in your own house, right? I sleep easy here. You can believe that shit, honey. uh Oh, thank you. Followers will follow. You're always fair. I love that about you. I try to be. I don't know some of these people's behavior though, honey. I don't know what the angle of this stone creature is. Apparently, she's been trying to be on YouTube or have a channel for years. Looks like. I know she studied me for years. I was when she came on. I was the first 15 videos out of nowhere. Didn't even know who the person was, but they had been watching every word that came out of my mouth. So we don't know what the psychology of this person is. We would hope that Tracy did at least. Well, the guy still has it up. What's his name? Mr. Apollo. Mr. Apollo still has the video, the stalking video up of her walking up to Tracy's door. Now that would be vital in a court case if she decides to press charges on him. If she wants something to show the cops, that would be it. It's only a couple, I don't know, 5 or 6 minutes. But that would be the nail in her coffin, right? And I believe that she really, really has a problem trying to hide her identity. So this might not be the first incident. We don't know that he became a stalker because he saw Tracy on here fighting with Jay Wilson. And they're all in the same town. We have confirmation now. They definitely live in the same place. I remember when my mama showed me her big ass gun. She had a big old 38, honey. I said, "Oh." She said, honey. After her kids had left, she was in the house by herself. She got steel doors and a gun, so I can feel safe in my house. So you did right, mama. I'm not advocating people shooting each other and shit like that, but you don't go up in nobody's home. So I think it's fine to have it at the house. And when you start carrying it around the people, that might be more problematic. Because somebody might push the wrong button and you can blow their ass away. You ain't got no cheering. You got to be comfortable with the weapon in the house. Nothing to hold you back, honey. Is Soul Sister #1 show in here? Hi, Soul Sister #1 show. See what else y'all say. The whole thing has been documented. He is so shameless that he has been recording himself harassing Tracy. Followers will follow. At least the whole thing has been documented. He is so shameless that he has been recording himself harassing Tracy and then come and taking the videos down. Just like that guy, Mr. Apollo, can download that video, so can anybody else, honey, including the police. The Popo. She gonna get enough of him. At some point, he's going to introduce himself. He might not let her know that it's him, but he's going to try to walk up on her in a store or something like that and look back at the camera or something like that. You got to get closer. That's the mental illness. So maybe he has to hide himself because he's been accused of things before. The man has got to be in his 50s. So more than likely, he has done similar things to other people before. I don't think Tracy is that much of a motivation where he would start with her, right? So he might have done something in the past. There's probably documentation, a record. And I strongly believe that there's a good chance that he is actually a child molester because of the graphic way he was talking about this subject. right? What's with all these ads inserted? Are y'all seeing a whole lot of commercials? I hope not. I got to leave something there. These damn YouTube people, they done cut the money back. So that's why that fool's on here 4 and 5 and 6 times every single goddamn day. It's not all that big a deal to me. But I think I have to leave some commercials in here somewhere to make a make it interesting. I don't see the video. Which video, JJ? You don't see it on Mr. Apollo. You got to spell out Mr. Spell out Mr. Apollo. And it's on there. It's also on there where he is threatened now. He doesn't show the face. Well, he can't show the face because she don't show herself. He has this little wiggly thing showing him relentlessly going after Brianna Simone, saying the most disgusting thing you can imagine about that girl. Then him also threatening Deanna Irving. That's also been recorded. I guess this boy is so stupid. I would think, I hope that everyone who sees that, who is involved with him, would record this stuff just in case you need it for evidence. Officer, can I show you something? Before things get out of hand. What if Tracy would have just opened the door? He did that live, right? He did that live. What if she just went and opened her door? It's her door, right? What would happen then? Would he just run away? Or would he try to scratch her face like he said he's going to do to other people? Blow, can I say I'm from the house of Jay Wilson? Yeah, he want to claim credit for all this shit. He always wants to name himself, and take no responsibility at all. If you have the house of Jay Wilson, then you should be able to corral your monsters, honey, and keep them in line. So if you're going to wear the precious name, baby. Happy Thursday. What else going on, people? Is there anything besides that bullshit? This is why Tracy shouldn't be fucking with Jay Wilson. He never stands up for her. He left her down there in that jail. He's sitting up here watching a stalker who he knows stalked this woman, and he ain't got no opinion about it. Oh, ain't got nothing to do with me. Ain't got nothing to do with me. I just want to name the blog. I'm gonna get. I got you to 1,000. I got you. You ain't got nobody to shit, girl. I got 1,000 people in my viewership because people wanted to hear me going off on Walter Lee Hampton. That was my own beef, and that's the reason I got 1,000 subscribers, girl. That's it. Ain't got nothing to do with no outside niggas. Hey, God before everything. Murder in the beef sector. Did you read it? Girl, I got back in my new story now, honey. Who shot the call? Who shot the caller? Baby. Somebody want to call people, call their jobs and things. And then there's so many possibilities, so many suspects, honey, that it makes for a wonderful murder mystery because a lot of people want to kill his ass. If anything happens to Tracy, Jay Wilson will have blood on his hand because the boy in the town got blood stains on his hand. That's the night that the lights went out in San Antonio. That's the night that they killed an innocent man. Well, don't trust your soul to no backwoods southern preacher because the preacher in the town got blood stains on his hand. You have never seen Stomp? Nobody has, baby. Followers will follow. There ain't nobody show. She goes behind a black screen. She don't even put up an avatar. She is so afraid of somebody identifying her. Where she lives now, and also the situation in Chicago, where she admits to being a pedophile. That's what she said. Right? Apparently, she knew other pedophiles, so she said he sat there and watched them. That's what she told that boy. What's his name? I forget. Them gorgeous lips. I got my tooth. I gotta get. I broke my tooth. I finally got another appointment. Apparently, I missed one, but they'll see me next week. I got to get my tooths fixed. Fortunately, they can take them out and fix them. I ain't got to sit there in the chair. Stone creature wouldn't survive this stuff in Indy. Child, these gangsters, what you call them, keyboard gangsters or something else, child, talking big time shit. Oh, God Before Everything, you have read the Epiphany? Yeah, a lot of people say that's their favorite. Did you see the characters? What was the lady's name? I forget the lady who her daughter, the guy stole her panties. What was the lady's name? Miss Beulah. You like Miss Beulah? Uh-huh. I think that's one of my I think it's the most read. The Meth Monster is the best-selling book that I ever wrote. And then Murder in the Beast, Love and Gospel Music is a great book, but I didn't know what I was doing when I made that book, and they allowed them to price it at Author House, and they priced it at $26. Well, I didn't know that the book probably should have been something around $10 or something like that. That's what books cost on Amazon. So it wasn't a big seller, but it's a great book. It inspired all the rest of them. The Epiphany. Get it on Amazon, people. How you doing, Nicole Reloaded? Did I speak? Blue Roof Phoenix. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one she said she was there when he was being molested. And he does have some kind of real serious problem with drag queens. So she was a drag queen. She was there. She said she had that job, and she had some kind of way she's interacting with him and watched him get raped. That's what she said. Nobody brought that here but her, honey. And ever since then, she's been disappearing. So we don't know if it was the guy, her most recent victim. What's his name? The most recent victim was the guy. I forget. The guy kind of looks like me, got a bald head. Honest Row. But she started fucking with Honest Row. I think he started fucking with her back, and she started hiding all the videos. I would say, why bother to make them, girl? Ain't nobody see him. So, Tim, I'm inclined to think that might be the white guy in the beefing sector. No, that is not Jason. Those are two different creatures, honey. The stump creature is Mexican. She came on here bragging about her father is Mexican and her mother is biracial. That would mean she was 75%. These are her words and not mine. 75% Mexican. If you're 75% anything, you look like a Mexican. You are a Mexican man. You have she walks around showing her legs. So she has the complexion that could be Mexican. She's a Mexican. Senor Gonzalez, sometimes I call her. Mm-hmm. But since she sounds like a black drag queen, she was probably not raised by her Mexican family members. Maybe something like she could have been raised in foster care, or her parents could have thrown her out because she was too much at 12 or 13 years old, something like that, John. Because the way she speaks, even, it's not of this world. It isn't. I'm sorry. It's Paris is Burning. She sounds like somebody out of there. She always uses their pictures. Paris is Burning people. Stomp and Brewwith are both psychopaths who stalk women. I haven't even looked over there. I've never seen a video of that dude. I just heard the accusations, which I thought was so disgusting. I'm familiar with him because I talked about it at the time. Somebody got to do is take interest in the case, and she can't sue him. It would be a criminal case. He ain't got shit to sue. The internet can be very dangerous. That's right. That's why Wilson is guilty of the original sin. He's the one that took off. He always talking about what people do. Oh, yeah, I never did this. I never did that. You mistake. You are the one, girl, who started stalking people on the beef sector. You're the one driving around people's properties. You're the one taking pictures of phone lines to say that, oh, I don't have no phone lines in my neighborhood. I don't have no phone. What? So what? You got no damn phone lines, girl. Why would that be interesting? Taking pictures of gas stations all around the building, taking pictures of it, girl. Every time somebody comes to town, you would think they want to show them the sights. The sights, something must have happened in San Antonio, girl. No, he don't go there. He goes to Tracy's house. What is Tracy? Like Diana Ross or somebody, girl? You want to see a house? So he was devastated when their five babe took pictures. And he tried to blame her. I didn't take no pictures. I didn't take the pictures. Miss Thing, that was not the sin. The sin was you were driving by that woman's house. You knew those women, five babe, when she was getting along with her other friend, Tracy. You knew they were fighting. They were beefing online. You knew they were mortal enemies, right? You knew that threats had been made. And what do? You drive these women by her house to let them know where she is. We have pictures of you pointing to her building. Oh, I didn't point to her apartment. I didn't point. And this thing, girl, how hard was it for the thumb creature to find out her apartment? All you do is look at the mailbox, girl. Anyway. No, honey, it seems like these YouTube streets, she talked too much, is getting more and more in the news. Where a lot of these teenagers, I was watching the story today, this beautiful young kid, he had to be about, was it 16, something like that. Apparently there's some scam going around, some people out of this country pretending to be young girls, talking to a young guy, age appropriate and all that. But the young girl, who is actually some grown man in some other country, entices the young boy to show something of his body online, right? And then they come back, these people from a foreign country, and blackmail the kids. And him, and not only him, but there have been several cases, actually committed suicide, killed himself, because the person threatened to expose his pictures to all of his family and friends and all that. I don't know what he was doing in the film to young people, or so he thought. It's unfortunate that he couldn't go to a family member or somebody and report this bitch. But I was watching that just today. All that comes from the internet, honey. People have all this access to you. That's why y'all don't be showing y'all pictures, your body parts to nobody. Not online, honey. You fall out with the boyfriend, or somebody get the boyfriend's phone, a girl, and you got all this shit out of. They was blackmailed, told this young kid, I think it was 15, 16 years old, that he had to come up with $1,000 and whatever. And the kid wouldn't kill himself. The kid said, "You're going to make me kill myself. It's all because of you." And the guy said, "Yeah, go ahead and do that." And the kid did it. It's a horrible story. Absolutely horrible. So hopefully they'll catch this guy in whatever country he's in and pursue him for murder. Because that's what he did. Murder by internet, by social media. No matter how many times we tell people that, they won't listen. Well, they're young. They have young little minds, right? They're not thinking about all these possibilities, particularly when you're going after little kids. Why are you going to blackmail teenagers? They ain't got no goddamn money. If they got any money, work at Burger King somewhere. Anyway, a kid was so embarrassed. It's horrible. Mm-hmm. I don't know why Tracy forgives that boy. I don't know why she fucks with him. Don't ask me why. But I would hope that she would see that after all he did with your relationship and the situation in California, the only reason he come back talking about this emergency shit is only to get you off his back, so you wouldn't come and rain hell on that boat. I don't know why she didn't see that. I do not understand it. She should never forgive him, ever. She should have the Tracy show like me. I talk about him every day. I ain't got no problem with it. I think you're worthy of that kind of attention. I bet Pastor Windmills in a fight. Child, that boy ain't gonna fight nobody. Jay Wilson, girl, when I roared up his ass, I called him all kind of bitches and stuff. Girl. You start putting, I couldn't believe it, child. There was a plate of food in front of him when I confronted him, right? I thought I was gonna break his neck. So he started eating. Ignored this big old black man is over here wanting to punch him out and choke him out, girl. I was gonna push that bone through his nose. He ain't gonna fight shit, God. Oh, the law is for the lawless. The law is for the lawless. Jay Wilson's a punk, right? He comes on here trying to act like he's super cool. Oh, I'm real. I'm real. To be real, got to be real. No, so he would never fight you back. I don't think he even fight a woman back unless she was real little. If she's maybe 110 pounds, he might fight the woman back. But other than that, he couldn't whip Deanna. Nobody liked that, honey. Ain't no way. He couldn't whip Tracy. Tracy got in that ass. I can say, ah, stop it! Stop it! Stop it! The law is for the lawless. Ah! Hiding out in school. Year after year after year. They ain't did shit, girl. Hiding out in school. Ain't got no street smarts at all. All he can talk about is the law is for the lawless. I want somebody to drive past his house and see what he thinks then. Whole different story. That child would be panicking, honey. You see, you hired an armed guard, girl, just because Wiley said he was coming to San Antonio. Girl, ain't you got a baseball bat or something, nigga? You that scary? Yep, Jay Wilson. One of these days, somebody going, when you out there walking this dog trying to show off your neighborhood, I ain't got no power lines and all this. You so happy to be out the trailer park. Girl, don't you know all they got to do is zoom in on one of them addresses as you're passing, girl. Zoom in on the address, put it in Google Earth. There you got it. See how you feel about that. It's so much. Don't. Oh, Jesus. Whatever. I can't explain nothing to these people. I cannot explain nothing to these people. I know if I'm going to spend the time to go on a plane and get your ass, though, I know how to find you, honey. Boxing is 9/11. You can't trust nobody going to fight you back either. You can't trust that. No, they're going to do something, pull something out and hurt you. Apparently, that's how they do it these days. And you in Texas, too? Half the motherfuckers got guns, girl. Y'all better stop talking. Y'all going to have Jay Wilson spending money on bars on his windows. Cameras all around the house. Bars. That dog, you going to put the dog outside, girl, from extra security. Jay Wilson. Landmines in the front yard, girl. The law is for the lawless. He needs to go spend a little time in jail. That'd be good for Jay Wilson. Since you got so much to talk about going to jail, they going to jail. You need to spend a little time in jail, girl. There's some things, Jay Wilson, that you would have helped you to build your character, Mr. I think a little jail time would be good, would serve you right. Then you can talk about jail from experience. But you didn't care enough about jail to go get Tracy out right down the street from you, nigga, for $50. Apparently, you didn't think it was too horrible for her. He was sacrificed lyric and go get him, Mark. Go get him, Mark. Mark said, bitch, I ain't fighting your ass. I'm not fighting for your ass, girl. You up there running your mouth. Okay, pay the price. You got to go and pay the price now. Y'all see my t-shirt? I see him all over town. I think I got it from Old Navy. Y'all know we are losing Old Navy as well. Lord have mercy. San Francisco, we have one big mall in the core of the city, the Westfield Mall. Now they have decided they're gonna sell the mall. But when I understand, they're selling all their mall. They have several of them around the country. They're selling them all in this country. The malls are a thing of the past, apparently. But we are missing them, and then we're missing Old Navy is moving out. Gap moved out. All these major people are moving out of San Francisco, out of the downtown area. But the point is, we still got a little less than 1 million people here. Where they gonna shop and stuff? I guess it's all about online, but I don't like buying everything online. You know, you got to see the quality of things. Some things I would never buy, like statues and stuff like that. I don't buy that online, honey. You get it and then it's plastic or some shit. You got to be able to see what you're buying. So I guess with clothing though, it's having a real hard time. It's looking like our downtown area is going to be they got beautiful buildings down there too. New buildings is opened up in the last 5 or 6 years, but they're going to end up being not nearly as much commercial as they are residential. They're going to turn a lot of the office space into residences, for rich people, where they buy the whole floor and all that stuff. I don't know why we even care about it. I mean, it's whatever. I wasn't shopping in them places anyway. But their biggest mall, it's not going to close down, but the theater announced they're leaving yesterday. So a lot of those businesses are going to leave. The major stores downtown are leaving, apparently. Not like they try to blame it all on crime, but them people ain't stealing like that. You need to hire more security. This Safeway in front of me, honey, they figured that thing out, where it's one woman in and one woman out at the same time, girl. They got armed security all over the damn doors. That they handled their problem because they are a business, and it's your job to figure it out, not leave. So I don't think it's that. I don't think it's the primary thing. It's not crime. The primary thing is people are just not buying. They're not spending money in retail like they used to. The world is changing. COVID exacerbated all that stuff. I hope that's the right word. Speeded it up. Put it like that. Do you want to hear where I found out where? Okay. Uncle Tim. Hi, Tanya B. Did anyone ever find out why he called Tracy during her live? He called her. Yes. Tracy was going after him after he made 40 videos about her and that Rob Rat guy, right? So Tracy was going after him like the old days, the good old days. And he wanted to get her off his back after she announced that she was going on the same trip as him. He was going to be on the boat. Being that a scary kind of man that he is, he knew that if his boat people were going to go on this trip, he had to deal with Tracy, right? So he comes up with this harebrained scheme of his, and apparently it worked. We all sat there and watched while she supposedly helped him. How you helped him, girl? He come back, oh, Tracy helped me. Tracy helped me. This is his way of making up without apologizing for all shit he did, right? He didn't already cashed in on 40 videos. How you going to make 40 videos about a 2-day trip, girl? Or a 3-day trip or whatever the fuck it was. So that's what happened. That's why he called her. Right out of the blue. Somebody he beefing with. Apparently she fell for it. I don't know. Maybe she just likes him or something. Maybe something in Tracy just is drawn to that. I don't understand everything. Mm-hmm. When he needed her help for an urgent matter. That boy who he thought was so funny that when he got in my business was after his ass. That's the urgent matter. Right? Jason exposing him. He said my name. He said, everybody knows your name, Jay Wilson. Excuse me. What's his name? James Wilcox. James will suck your cock is his name. You hate the retail death ring. Is it other places as well, Ashley Watkins? See, I'm going to go by what's going on here. But from what I can tell from the news, it seems to be going on pretty much everywhere. Everywhere there's a medium size or big city. We're not a big city. We're a dense city. There are a lot of people here in this small space. Insurance goes up each time you use them. Don't even talk about insurance, honey. In Florida, they flee in Florida because the damn insurance is so high. The insurance, because they keep having all these national disasters. Well, I thought that always happened. But one of the news reports I saw that insurance companies were refusing to insure new people. And if they did insure them, the rates were so high, higher than the damn mortgage. Yeah, we used to love the mall when we were young. That was the place to go for young people. If I get on this train right outside my door, I can be in the mall in 5 minutes, and the train goes right beside, practically inside the mall. Right, so I go there to eat sometime. But on a lower level, it seems to be thriving. They're not going to close the mall, at least not yet. They're selling them all. They're selling all their malls across the country. So if they're doing that, there's probably other ones doing it too. There's a company called the Company Man YouTube channel where he comes and talks about the rise and fall of all of these companies. And a lot of them are falling. You have to realize that you only have if people are not buying stuff and you still have the same amount of expenses, all the same payroll, all the same leases and the money you're paying out, it doesn't take that long, honey, before you have to make a decision. The smart ones have also got an online presence, right? Like I'm pretty sure that JCPenney's and whatever, Walmart, all those people, you can buy that stuff online now too. But the young people will still go to the malls. But the only problem is the young people ain't got no money. Most of the ones that hang around in there, they might work there part-time, but they only have a certain amount of money to spend, honey. Right? You need these adults with paychecks to come up there and spend some money. Mm-hmm. What about the wharf? Yeah, the wharf is oh, I've been down there a while. I went down there with my niece and nephew to the wharf. Was it busy? It seems to be extremely busy at the wharf, but that's not retail. They have that pier. Is it? No, the wharf has that shopping center inside. That was full, and also the Pier 39 was full. They have mostly souvenir type things, the hats and stuff like that. But those are almost all exclusively tourists. Most of the people who actually live here, they don't go to the wharf. They've done it, been there, done that kind of thing. But yeah, that seems to be still thriving. But it's mostly selling souvenirs and so forth. But yeah, we've suffered from tourist situations as well. What the fuck is that on my phone? I keep forgetting to unplug it. Oh man. Hold on. All I want to do is unplug the phone so it stay unplugged. All right. So the world keeps changing. We don't even need a damn phone anymore. Because everybody got cell phones. Even when you're poor, you can get a cell phone for free. So remember, it used to be you had to be home to talk on the phone. Ooh, most times people have to take out a loan after a flood in some states. And you can imagine losing all of your personal stuff, your clothes, your furniture, your pictures, your videos, all your machines. You lose everything. Does the insurance company necessarily pay for all that? You know, I'm sure the rates are pretty high, particularly when you know there's going to be more disasters. Climate change is real. We have got some of the strangest weather we've ever had. Oh, the chair blocked the view. You gonna see the apartment? Here's the apartment. I ain't doing too much decorating now. It's like, well, it never stops really. I'm always looking for stuff. My big thing is my beautiful desk, but nobody ever seen because it sits on my computer. But That was a goal of mine to find one of these. Most times people have to take all that long after a flood. Okay. Let me check my perimeter over here, people. Check the perimeter. Make sure there ain't no breaking news, honey. Breaking news. Let's see. Uh-oh. Looks like Brian is going after Mr. Wilson. Mr. Wilson. Miss Wilson. Duchess Kelly Love talking about Tracy. What else going on here? I see Lady Nika's in action. Oh, don't say their name. Don't say their name. But why not, girl? Who gives a fuck? All right. I don't see no breaking news, people. So thank y'all for coming in today. Let me go get some eat. I'm getting weak. So we're happy for Brianna. She seems to be doing her thing on the shorts, and she's not the only one doing that either. And it does seem to work. It does seem to work when you make it when you make yourself accountable, so you can keep showing progress. I think that helps. It is embarrassment that some of these people are taking this opportunity to try to discourage her. Right? Everybody in the world who's ever met Brianna would probably say she needed to lose the weight. So we're happy about it. I'm glad about it. So glad. I'm glad about it. God, I'm glad. I'm glad about it. Well, there's a leak in this old building. Is that the right song? Mm-hmm. Thanks for coming in, people. Thank you, moderators. Love you guys. Later.